Hello! I'm Sarah Goldberg. Welcome to Tuesday Tips at 2 with the Goldbergs. You saw me with my mask. This is our new reality, right?
It was. And it was beautiful. Titan was like most.
At least one thing is we're alive, we're moving forward, and we're hoping for a better tomorrow. Thanks for joining us this week. Today's topic is going to be about what's going on with the coronavirus and with immigration and how does that play out. Some people have been heard that a number of things in the government have shut down. And specifically, some folks have asked me, is immigration even willing to hear my case if I apply? So that's what we're going to talk about today. First off, one thing that has happened is immigration will still accept your application fees. I know that's a joke. It's a joke for some people, and they're asking, what? And I tell them, one thing is they won't have a problem accepting your application fees because that's money for the government. So if you're interested in applying and you've been thinking about applying in the past, now's a great time to do it because only so many people right now are, one, in a situation where they could apply, and two, that actually will do it. So many folks are staying at home right now. But if this is something you've been thinking about doing, I think now's a great time because why not beat the masses? Why not apply to immigration while things are a little slow on their end and they'll hear what you have to say? So I think it's a great time to apply. Now, some things that have come into effect include the following. One is that immigration will not have actual interface with an individual who has a pending application. So for example, several applications require an in-person interview. Immigration is not allowing for those in-person interviews to occur in order to protect their workers. So as a result, anyone who is in line for an interview, their case will now be put on hold if that's the only thing that they're waiting on is that interview itself. So according to immigration, they say that they're going to start that up in the beginning of June. As we know, we keep hearing a lot of governments are taking things day by day. And we've also heard in the past that they'll say a date and then surprise, 2 weeks later, they say, okay, well, we're going to have to move that date even further into the future because we're still trying to weigh out what's going on with the pandemic of the coronavirus. So for now, immigration says that they'll be back into the swing of things by the beginning of June, and we'll just have to see how that plays out. As we've seen with a number of businesses that have opened up here in Texas, although they've opened up, it's been incremental and it hasn't been at 100% capacity. So the same might occur with how immigration processes people's applications for in-person interviews. Also with courts, deportation, anyone who's been incarcerated and detained, those deportation cases are still continuing till today. What has been put at a standstill are non-detained. So if you or an individual you know is in deportation proceedings but is permitted to still be out and work and live in America, well, that person's case would have, if they were scheduled during this pandemic of March, April, May, these cases have now been put off until a future date. Immigration courts say that they'll reopen in the beginning of June, and we'll see if that actually falls into place. But for now, that's what we've been told. Finally, so why is it that anyone should apply now for an immigration benefit? I'll tell you that in our office, we're already dealing with a lot of calls where people have been thinking about this pandemic and what their future holds. So one thing is we've been handling a lot more wills, power of attorney for individuals who have thought, gosh, I never even thought about what could happen. And obviously this crazy pandemic has occurred and I don't even have all my future plans in order, which includes what will happen to my family if something happens to me. So having those power of attorney and wills in place are really important. We've got our website, mywillnow.com. Check it out to find out more information about that. also on the immigration side. You know, a lot of people have now received stimulus checks in response to the coronavirus. One thing that you can do with that money is to invest it in yourself. Especially in a time like this, we don't know what will happen in the future. Do something now that can benefit you and your family. So not only does that include the wills and the power of attorney, that also means investment in an immigration process. If you have a loved one that you've always said, I need to get on this, now is the time. And we've even heard from some individuals that, hey, I didn't get a stimulus, my family didn't get the stimulus check. And what we've learned from that is that apparently, if you are a mixed immigration status couple where one spouse is a U.S. citizen but the other one isn't, and the other one has what's called an ITIN number, which is a tax ID filing number. An individual will have an ITIN if they don't have lawful immigration status, so they wouldn't have a social security number. In order to file jointly, they would need to obtain an ITIN. Unfortunately, in that sort of mixed immigration status couple, what will happen is that in the end, the U.S. government has stated if a person has an ITIN and not a social security number, that individual will not be able to obtain the stimulus check. So unfortunately, that'll negatively impact a couple where one has a social and the other one doesn't. Or even what about families where the parents have that situation, but all of the children are U.S. citizens? Can you imagine that impact that the family will now experience, that loss they will experience because one parent doesn't have the proper documentation? This is only one taste of what can happen to a family. Of course, the extreme would be deportation, which God forbid we wouldn't want that to happen to anyone. But these are the real concerns that occur for families and individuals. So with that tip for today, I hope that all of y'all stay safe and healthy out there. And our office is open. We have lots of regulations in place to protect you and our staff and us, including our masks. So with that, have a great week ahead and feel free to contact us, like us, share. We look forward to hearing from you. Adios until next time.